Look what the POB got us. Isn't that cool? That's our new board. That's, you know, Pat's is the director. All's on camera, of course. What day it is, we haven't got a clue. Isn't that cool? Yeah, the BOB bought that for us. So we got this. And look what this else he got. Look at this. A whiteboard. I can write on it. Whiteboard. Not the window anymore. It's a whiteboard. Yeah, 2,500. That's what this is for. Remember I was going to tell you something special for 2,500? I got something special for you. Okay. So we're back. 2,500. That's amazing. That's like not even 2 months. And here we are, 2,500 already. Wow. Jeez. I'll be right up there with Eric or somebody like that. Or even Jax. Or maybe Neil. Yeah, I'd be rubbing arms with Neil pretty soon. But anyway, today is a special one. So I told you I was going to give you something special. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. Just go grab a coffee. I'll take it easy. Go grab a coffee and sit down because this is a history lesson. I have something that nobody knows I got it. I've been babying this thing since 1974. And nobody knows I got this. So you guys are the first ones to know I got it. Anyway, what it is, they come in two models. And if you know any, this is what they call a mountain stove. This is made by a company in Michigan. We carry this in our rucksacks in the Army all the time, in the airborne. And this is what we used to cook on. We cooked everything on this. Like, I can't even tell you how many meals this thing made. And it's got the instructions. This one here, if you look at it, this one here is what, 1950? Stove gasoline burner, M 1950. It's even got the decals on it and the warning thing. Don't use inside, you get carbon monoxide. Anyway, this stove is probably, I would say probably one of the best stoves that were ever made on the planet. And I don't show people this because I don't want to let people borrow it, because this thing is like my right arm. Like, I've cooked a lot of food on this baby and it's still in mint shape. And I found out the other day on Google, of course everybody's at Google, these things are worth like $100. Like, I wouldn't even think of taking $100 for it. But this is a pretty cool stove. It burns white gas, which is this stuff here. They called it naphtha. Now they call it camp fuel, right? This is what it is. It's white gas. And what it is got an on and off knob. Now the only problem, well, it's not a problem with this stove, it works really good, is it's either on or off. There's no real, you can judge it a little bit, like cut it down a bit, but not that much. This thing is made so when you jump into the Arctic or something, this is made to have coffee in 5 minutes. That's what it's made for. Like, this thing will boil water, and we're going to show you how fast it'll boil water. And this thing is just totally unbelievable. You want to Google it. It's got a really good story. But anyway, you got the burner on the top, and it's got a little packing underneath the bottom here, and an on-off valve, and this is the regulator. Well, it's not a regulator. It's either on or off. It's no in between, right? And then it's got a little pump. Now, you know, the funny part about this thing is that this is the pump for it. Okay? Now, the real funny part about this is you can take it apart and fix it right now. You don't need to send it anywhere. And that's the little leather. You know, the little leather pock for it. It's the little pump for it. And you just put it in there, put a little bit of oil on it. What really worked good on it was bacon grease. Okay, so now the real funny part about this whole thing is that all the spare parts are in the handle. Now, if you take this out, I should have brought a pokey thing for me. But if you take this all out, you got all the spare parts right in it. Like, these are all brand new parts. You got new leather, you got a new pump, you got a new generator, you got a new packing, okay? And they all go in the handle. This has got the little check valve for the bottom here, and the new leather, and the new gasket for there. Yeah, it's a little crinkled up, so you have to sort of baby it. And this is the new packing for the generator. This is the new generator with the rod in it, and the nozzle, and that screws up in there. And then you just put it all back in here. And that comes with every stove had them spare parts in it. Kind of cool, eh? So you could fix this thing right there. Like mine, they never really give you much problem, but you'd have all the parts to fix it. Now, it used to come with a wrench, but I don't know where the wrench is because that was like 30 years ago. So this is how hard this thing is. You put the you have a funnel or a piece of paper, and you only put a little bit of gas in there because you don't want to carry it around all the time with the gas in it, right? So you'd only put a little bit of gas in there, just enough to do what you're going to do. Put the pump in. Now, this is where the difference comes. Everybody, if you look in the instructions, it says pump it up 10 times, turn it on, and yada yada yada. Well, when you're 40 below and waiting for a coffee, you learn real quick how to do it. So this is what you do. You give it 4 pumps, and then you turn it on, and it'll put some gas up in the bowl there, right? And then you turn it off, and you light it. And it burns. And what it has to do, it has to heat up the generator so that, like a Coleman, 2-burner Coleman, it's the same thing but small. So you let it heat up, and just before it goes out, and then you just turn it on. And you'll see it'll start hissing. You'll hear it hissing, right? And then you just turn the valve on, and it'll flame up a little bit. See? Then you just let it burn, and then it'll clear out, and then it'll get to a point where it'll start clearing out. See, it's going clear now. You turn it on, and then you pump it up. Now you got to watch, it's very, very hot. And then you just put your cup of water on there, like so. And this thing is unbelievable. Like how, I still to this day can't believe how fast it'll warm water. I should have had a timer, but I know it's going to be fast, right? And you just hold that, because you got to use a tin cup, right? And these, like, not everybody had one, but like they'd give one to every 3 or 4 people because everybody didn't need one. But if you're out on your own on a patrol or something, and you had no way of cooking, this is how you had to use to make coffee and to heat it up. And the good thing about it is, if you did it really good, you wouldn't get no flame. Like I'm not worried about people watching me. So, but if you're out there on your own, you'd cover it up and just do it slow, and you can't see it because the flame is underneath the cup, right? Okay, now how long we had that on there? Less than a couple of minutes, and you can see the bubbles in the bottom starting already. Like, you got these little propane ones now, but they don't cut the mustard with this one. Like, you can see the water, it's starting to get hot there now. See? You can see it start moving around. This thing is just amazing. And you got to remember this stove. I haven't run this stove for probably 15 years. I haven't started the stove, and it flared right up, right? Yeah, see, you're getting the steam off it now. You can see the steam coming off the water now. Like, it's amazing how it's just. Look at the steam. Look at the steam coming off the cup already. Like, if you wanted to make tea, that would be warm enough right now. Or coffee or anything, or hot chocolate, that would be warm. I'm not going to stick my finger in there because it's warm. But you can see the steam coming off it now. That's how fast this thing works. And that's why they're called a mountain stove, a Canadian mountain stove. The Canadian Army, well, the American Army had them too, but that's what it's called, a mountain stove. And this is the one before propane, because they never had propane till like 20 years later, right? See the steam coming off there now. Yeah, that's just about tea water right now. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That thing's what, 60 some years old, and it still works like that. So anyway, that's my little treat for you. You'll probably never see that. It's called a mountain stove. It was by the Canadian Army, and the American Army had it. And that's just a little treat for me and Ellen, all you people watching. And I didn't never expect to get this big. I really didn't. And we will, just so you know, we're going to be putting videos up every Thursday, but we'll keep throwing some in here and there. We decided we're not monetizing. We're just going to leave it. You people fix your own stuff. See some cool stuff. Now look at that, baby. Huh? Look at that. That's not even by the time we started right now. And that there is boiling in there already. Now that's pretty damn good for a stove that's 65 years old. You can't bitch about that. You're 67. That thing's older than I am. I know you don't believe that, Al, but it is true. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a good one out of that. See? Even when it's 65 years old, you can still work like a dream. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.